This is RocknR English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello, rock and rollers, and welcome to another episode of RocknR English, episode number 216, baby. Oh, yeah. A new year, a new podcast. Well, actually, that's not true. Everything is more or less the same on RocknR English. In fact, for this very episode, I made a mistake with the introduction and now I am recording it again. So, apologies if you listened to the original episode which I published, which had the incorrect introduction, but that's RocknR English, isn't it? Nothing is ever easy. And as we know, mistakes are a big part of learning languages. And as we all know, there is a grammatical mistake in the logo for RocknR English. So right from the birth of RocknR English, there has been a problem. And I think that will just continue forever because that's the rock and roll way. Anyway, in today's podcast, I speak to Boom Boom Cannon about the January blues, okay? Which is something people suffer from in January when people are just feeling a bit down, a bit depressed. So that's what we look at. We look at a few solutions. And I also have a very, very small new thing at the end with the vocabulary. Two things. One, there is a kind of new technique for you where I ask you questions. You will understand better at the end. And the second is I highlight other vocabulary that I forgot to highlight in the episode. But instead of me explaining it, just listen to the end. So I will stop talking now. Here is the episode. I will speak to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Boom Boom Cannon, how are you today?
I am good, Martin. How are you?
Always fantastic, Boom Boom. Always fantastic. I feel like I should maybe say Happy New Year to you, but we don't really do that, do we?
No, and we've just discussed it as well, actually, haven't we? Before this, that we both stayed in for New Year. Did you make it up to midnight at least?
I was forced to. Okay, it was like 11 o'clock, and I was saying, "Yeah, do you want to go to bed now?" And Mrs. RnR was having none of it. So when I say she was having none of it, she was saying, "Absolutely no. We have to be awake till midnight." So I got forced to stay up until midnight, which, you know, is really part of the spirit of New Year's Eve, I think.
Fun. Yeah. Well, I played a board game over Skype with my parents, so that was pretty wild, as you can imagine.
I can imagine. What board game did you play?
It's a board game called Who Knows Where.
Oh, okay. And I mean, I must admit, when I said what board game did you play, I was thinking if it's not Monopoly, I don't know. I don't know the game.
No, I was surprised actually that you asked because I thought I don't think you're that into board games.
No,
it wasn't Monopoly. It was a Who Knows Where, which is basically a geography-based game where you.
I think that's enough of that board game, actually. Boom, boom. Thanks. I mean, it sounds fantastic, but
it's actually really fun. I'd recommend it if anyone is looking for a board game. Yeah.
A nice geography board game. That is just what I want to do on New Year's Eve. I mean, but saying that, I wanted to go to bed, so you know, I think you've actually won by playing a geography board game.
Well, next New Year's Eve, I'll invite you to the game with my parents.
Please do. Anyway, Boom Boom, how do we usually start the show?
It's got to be with a review, surely.
Oh, yeah. Do you think we have a review?
We must do.
You know, I really wish that we did have one, but unfortunately we haven't. So, you know, getting off on the right foot this year and everything like that. You know, last year was terrible. Starting this year without a review, I mean, God.
It's a bad start.
It's a very bad start for everyone, I think, for everyone involved. So I think the answer to this is send reviews in, and then everything in the whole pandemic and everything will be resolved, I think, is the...
If they're five-star reviews.
Yeah, if it's 4 stars, the pandemic's not going to finish. But if it's 5 stars, then I think we've got a chance. So, no reviews there. So, on to what we're talking about. And, you know, January is normally a time where people have what is known as the January blues. So everyone's feeling a bit down. after the holidays, normally because the holidays have been so good, but this year, I think for most people, not even the holidays have been good. So I think this is really relevant because people could be suffering from these January blues of just feeling a bit low. So we're going to look at the causes of these January blues and also some of the solutions, okay, to make us feel better. How does that sound, Boom Boom?
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said solutions because I was thinking, if people are feeling a bit down in the dumps, then listening to us discussing the January blues probably wouldn't help. But we're all about solutions.
Exactly. Well, if we've got time, we might, just talk about the causes.
If we get onto them.
Although Boom Boom did use some lovely rock and roll vocabulary when he said people are feeling down in the dumps. So just feeling a bit shit, really. But it's also very important because apparently the 18th of January is Blue Monday, which is widely known as the most depressing time of the year, and that will be the date of the next podcast. So I thought, get in early, show people how to feel good, just so everyone's okay for the next one.
Good thinking.
Exactly.
It's also a great song.
It is. That's the first thing I thought. We can have a quick listen now, actually. So, yes, although it is the most depressing day in the year, it does have a wonderful song. So, on to the causes of this Blue Monday. Okay, one of the reasons apparently is stress levels are really high because people have just been spending money at Christmas, stuff like this, for all of these presents. So, people can be a bit stressed by this. And I've got a solution for this one immediately. Just don't buy presents for Christmas, and then you're fine. How about you, Boom Boom? Did you buy many presents for Christmas this year?
Well, my brother is seemingly on a mission to increasingly sort of add to my present list by having more children. So
what a bastard! Fucking just having more and more children. Jesus, what an inconsiderate bastard.
Exactly, and as much as you can say to adults, well, let's maybe skip the presents this year, you can't really do that with your nieces and nephews. So I did have a few to buy, actually. Yeah.
Did you just do the send it on Amazon thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, I considered that because obviously I've got two nieces as well, my brother's two children, and I just thought, that's not the spirit of Christmas, is it? Just getting a pack from Amazon. So I sent them a Christmas card, and inside the Christmas card was a voucher for a trip to the toy shop. Okay. Although I must admit, the last time I did that, my niece chose the most expensive thing in the toy shop. I should have written a limit on it this time. Yeah. Trip to the toy shop, maximum £25.
So you'd made the mistake of giving an unlimited voucher.
Yeah, that's very much what I did. And she chose something, I think it was £150.
Wow.
And I was like, are you sure you want this? Because there's just like a colouring set over there of some pens and paper that's only $4.99, and that looks pretty fun to me. Are you sure you want this?
Yeah, we could get you two of them if you want.
Exactly, but that's the real spirit of Christmas. Even though probably
that's nice.
Probably the next time I will go home will probably be sometime, I don't know, in the summer. So I'm sure she will still be feeling very Christmassy.
So is that how this voucher works? It's when you're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's not going for that. I'm not giving her my credit card without me. It's bad enough she spends enough money when I'm there. If I'm not there, Jesus, she'll buy the whole shop.
Well, I partly did Amazon this year because last year I sent one of my nephews a jumper that I'd bought here and then posted it, and the postage, pretty penny that cost me. So I decided this year avoid the postage and let Amazon do the hard work.
Yeah, there's nothing more annoying in the world than having to pay for like postage. In fact, on Amazon, when I buy something and it says like $2.99 like postage and packaging, I think I don't want to spend that. And then it says, but if you spend over like €30, then it's free. And I think, well, okay, right, I'll just spend like €25 extra then, just so I don't have to pay for that, for the posting. Otherwise, it's just such a blow. Even the $2.99, I can feel it. It's like a dagger in my heart.
Yeah, I actually did this recently for a Christmas present. Just here that I was in Sweden and bought something additional to get over the free postage and packaging. Bought myself A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking that I'll probably never read. So,
but at least you didn't have to pay for the postage and packaging. That's the important thing. Even if it's just the same product, it's like €25, €5 for the postage and packaging. I think no, same product, €30, free postage and packaging. I think yes, I'll take that deal.
Joke's on them.
Exactly.
Postage is on them.
That is a very good point. Exactly, and that's what matters. So moving on to the next one, I really don't think we're going to get time to talk about any solutions here, but we're going to try. Another reason people feel so down in January is because of the cold. People just feel cold, and it's just horrible, isn't it? Waking up in the morning and maybe it's still dark and you're cold. Oh, how about you, Boom Boom? Do you suffer from that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the cold, but I was thinking as you were saying that where you are, I mean, what sort of temperature are we talking in terms of cold?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that cold. Yeah. I mean, even when it gets cold, it's normally like, I don't know, sort of like 8 degrees or something like that. But it's the houses, I think. They're made to get rid of the heat, for the summer, because it's really hot in the summer. So they're made to get rid of the heat. So you can suffer from the cold in winter, especially when Mrs. RnR decides to open all of the windows to change the air. And I think, look, I couldn't give a fuck about the air. It's cold, okay? Like, just keep the windows closed. The windows are there to stop the cold. When you open them, it's just saying, come on. It's like opening the door to a burglar and just saying, come in and take whatever you want. It's just not.
I don't care if it stinks.
Exactly. I don't care if you want to change the air because I've farted 25 times. Okay? It's cold. It's cold. Okay? So that's something that can be quite annoying and quite depressing. And people apparently are more irritable in January. So they get annoyed by lots of things. Here I've got a list actually. So these things are the type of things that can annoy people in January. And they are noisy eaters, people talking too loudly on the phone, and lots of sniffing. So like if you have a cold and you're going... And my first thought was, that's annoying 12 months of the year. Like, if someone's talking too loudly on the phone, that's always annoying. Why is it only annoying in January?
Yeah, they're not January specific. Sniffing, obviously, now worrying, you know.
Of course, dangerous. Exactly.
Dangerous more than annoying. But, yeah, no, they're just annoying things, aren't they?
Yeah.
All year round.
Yeah. Exactly. And speaking of annoying things, because there are many things that do annoy me. This one, I suppose, is more of a December one, actually. Because obviously in December, everyone, feels like they have to wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, these kind of things. Say, for example, Mrs. RnR is talking to someone, and then I can hear her talking and saying... And then she says, yeah, no, Martin's fine. Oh, yeah, he's right here. I'll just pass you to him so you can say Happy Christmas. I'm there going, no, please don't pass me the phone. It's too late. The phone's come. Hiya. Yep. Happy Christmas. You okay? Yep. Happy New Year. Yep. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, that is quite annoying. That also reminded me of another one of, I think, your bugbears, which is when sort of people say to you to, like, whoever you're with, so say hi to them for me. Which I remember you getting very annoyed about in the past.
Yeah, it's very annoying. A lovely term there, though. One of your bugbears, I think you described it. Something that annoys you. Yeah, it's because you kind of think like, do I actually have to do that? Just like you're sitting next to someone and then you say, oh, by the way, Boom Boom says hi. And then they just go, oh, does he? Say I said hi. And then I have to send a message back and say, oh, yeah, she says hi too. It's just a waste of everyone's time, isn't it? There are more important things to do in life than say hi. Exactly. So another solution, just avoid that one. Although we have actually got to the solutions, okay? Thank God.
Good.
This is the good part of the podcast now. It's just where it's all fun, okay? So one is to go outside. Obviously it's cold, so wrap up warm, which is a nice term. Maybe your mum often says that to you when you're a child. Wrap up warm, put lots of clothes on, because our brains love sunlight and all of this stuff. So do you get outside much, Boom Boom, in January?
Well, yeah, I guess I try to, although I'm hoping this month will be a bit better, because in December, I think, not even an exaggeration, I think we got about 6 hours of sunlight here in Sweden, in where I live at least. So that wasn't the best.
Doesn't leave you much time, especially if you're working, does it, to get sunlight?
No, when it sort of just pops out for 30 minutes once a week, it's a struggle if you've got a meeting booked at that point. So yeah, stocking up on the vitamin D tablets at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So nice term there, stocking up. So basically taking lots of them. That's one of the good things again about Sicily, is that generally the weather is good. Obviously, there are sometimes some rainy days. In fact, December was a bit shit last year, but generally it's good. And I've obviously got the beach nearby, so I often run down there in the morning. In fact, I was running there the other day, and like 3/4 of the way to the beach, I kind of thought I need a poo now, like quite badly. But I thought, it's okay, I'll run it off, which is a lovely term. Generally, if you've injured yourself playing football, people will say just run it off, like keep running and it will go away, like that's actually going to work. And so I kept running, and I think it was the impact of like running with my feet like hitting the floor, like boom, boom, boom. And very quickly, I couldn't actually even stand up, Boom Boom. And I was thinking, I don't know how I was stranded. So like stranded, I had no way of getting home to a toilet. So, I mean, my options were, one, to call Mrs. RnR and say, can you pick me up? Two, to just do a poo on the street.
Please tell me you went for option 2.
No, I very much considered it. The problem was there was too much sunlight. If I had been in Sweden where it's dark, I would have done it.
Get away with that.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely term. They get away with it. Like, so no one will punish you, let's say, for it. I considered hitchhiking as well, which is when you put your thumb up and say to someone, can you give me a lift home? But then I kind of thought the conversation will be a bit awkward.
Yeah, that's a dangerous option, I'd say, in that situation.
Yeah, because I only had to go as well about, 900 meters. And can you imagine that? I get in the car and they say, okay, just up the road. Oh, that's strange. Why don't you just walk? Because I really need a shit, mate. But in the end, I had to walk back. But that was the thing. I couldn't run anymore because I needed to go so badly. So I was walking. Yeah,
because I think the phrase to run it off, you hear that a lot in football, generally referring to, bang on the knee.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's trod on your foot. I don't think you can run a poo off. Quite the opposite, I would say.
Yeah, I found out the hard way, Boom Boom, believe me.
Wow.
And when I finally got home, I didn't think I was going to make it. But I did. Just that relief of when you get to the toilet. Like I was almost crying with joy. And I just thought, like, this is just the best feeling in the world. Oh God, yeah, I'm actually sort of happy thinking about that again. Actually, so
not the best run though.
Oh no, oh yeah, I was measuring the time on my watch, and it was, yeah, I think my watch was thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Because it definitely wasn't my best time.
Lovely, lovely stuff.
But yeah, so the message is go outside, okay? Do a poo first, and then go outside. I'm
not sure this is really a solution for the January blues that we've ended up proposing here. But
the go outside one is a solution, okay? In fact, again, when I was at Mrs. RnR's family house over the holidays, I was sitting in a lot thinking, not much to do. And I was talking to her cousin who works like in the countryside. And I thought, it'd be good to go out with him one day to work, do something with him. And then I said to him, because I thought, I just need to do something. I said, I'm thinking of coming. Is that all right? He said, yeah, sure. He said, we leave at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then I was thinking, you know what? I don't really like going outside anyway.
Yeah, I'd say this time I'll sit this one out.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely term again there. Sit this one out. So I'll just leave it. I'll let you get on with it, as we say. I'll let you do it.
5 a.m.
Oh yeah, and I was thinking again, how cold's it going to be then? Okay, so that's not going to help with my January blues. So very much let him go on his own for that one. So what else do we have here? Plan a holiday or book things to look forward to. Bit difficult at the moment with the whole virus thing, but have you got anything to look forward to this year, Boom Boom?
I
don't want to make you feel depressed
nothing.
Here.
Nothing. Yeah, this hasn't helped, Martin. Thanks. I've got nothing to look forward to.
Fucking hell, these are the solutions.
You?
Well, there's obviously the birth of my child, which is happening.
Yeah. You've got to say that.
Yeah. Although obviously looking forward to it, but at the same time, very much shitting my pants about it.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds tough and kind of terrifying as well.
I've never changed the nappy. That's what I'm thinking of. So the nappies are like let's say the underwear that babies wear, and I was thinking, am I going to be able to do that? Like,
I think you just have to, don't you?
Yeah. But
I've never done it, so I can't really give you any advice.
Thanks. We're all about solutions here. I remember one of our friends actually telling us when he had a baby. And he got a bit confused with the whole nappy changing thing. And he told me he took the dirty one off, cleaned the baby's bum, and then put the dirty one back on again and threw the clean one in the bin. So excellent. There's a worry that's going to happen. You just don't know, Boom Boom. You just don't know. So another thing to do, though, is try something new. Okay, start something new, a new habit or something like that. And just in our pre-podcast chat, Boom Boom told me something new that he's been doing, which I'm interested to find out more about, which is watching World's Strongest Man. Tell us about that, Boom Boom. How's that going? Is that getting rid of these January blues?
Yeah, I mean, it's giving me some kind of body goals to aim for.
To become the world's strongest man. I mean, you have got a pretty good physique, Boom Boom, but I think there's quite a big distance between you and the world's strongest man.
Yeah, but you've got to have a target, haven't you?
Not even the strongest man in Sweden, literally in the whole world.
Well, I'll start with like strongest man in my block of flats, and see where I can go from there. But no, it's actually a kind of a Christmas New Year tradition, I guess I'd say, in the UK, that the World's Strongest Man, despite being filmed, I think, in the summer, is shown around Christmas, New Year. And so I've basically decided to get back into watching that. I don't know. Yeah, if you can remember watching it, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's some absolutely massive guys lifting and pushing and pulling extremely heavy objects.
Wow, that sounds even more interesting than the board game about geography. Boom boom.
It's good fun. I'd suggest giving it a go. There's a lot of drama.
Well, I might, and then I might set myself the goal of becoming the world's strongest man as well. I mean, even if I was... Well, luckily, I'm the only man in the house where I live, so I'm definitely winning the strongest man in the house. But if it was strongest person in the house, I don't even think I'd win that. Mrs. RnR's pretty strong. So, I think there's a long way to go for me to become the world's strongest man. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly. Well, that's the end of our chat about the January blues. Boom, boom. I hope we've given everyone lots of solutions. So, it's a difficult time with the virus stuff and, the holidays weren't great. So people might be feeling down. Listen to this podcast. All the solutions you need right here, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I'd say I'm feeling a bit more down than I was at the start of this conversation. So. But I hope it's been of some use for people. That's not Rock and Roll English's fault, boom boom. Okay, that's you mentally. Okay, that's just me.
That's just you. Everyone else, like, they're doing cartwheels at the moment. Okay, so cartwheels is a kind of gymnastics move, let's say, that you do if you're really happy. I mean, I personally don't, because I'd be worried about injuring my back or something like that. But you can, if you are happy, you can do cartwheels.
If you can do it. Do it.
Yeah, exactly.
If not, learn if you can to do it. There's a resolution for you.
Exactly. One of the new things to try this year. Anyway, a pleasure as always, Boom Boom. I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Yep, see you soon. Thanks, Martin.
See ya. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Boom Boom and me speaking about the January blues. So let's have a look at some of that rock and roll vocabulary. At the beginning, I said that I wanted to go to bed early on New Year's Eve, but Mrs. RnR was having none of it. So she basically just said, absolutely not. So think of a time you tried to convince someone to do something and they were having none of it. This is the new technique, okay? I'm going to ask you questions. So pause the podcast and think of answers, okay? Let's move to the next one. I said we are getting off on the right foot because we don't have any reviews. Obviously, I was being sarcastic. So starting in a great way. So have you started the year on the right foot? Generally, you might have that term getting off on the wrong foot. So maybe you've got off on the wrong foot. But everything can be resolved by leaving a review on Facebook or iTunes for Rock and Roll English, and please send it to me. We had the January blues, obviously, which I think by now you probably understand what that means. Then Boom Boom spoke about people feeling down in the dumps. So when was the last time you were feeling down in the dumps? Another couple of terms I just want to highlight to you is when we were talking about the solutions, and Boom Boom said, if we get on to them. So that's a lovely term, if we get on to them, if we arrive there. And he also said, my brother is seemingly on a mission to add to my present list. Notice that word seemingly there. It seems like he's on a mission. These terms are quite easy to understand. I'm just highlighting them to you so you can add them to your vocabulary. Boom Boom then spoke about when he sent a present to one of his nieces or nephews, and he said he paid for the postage, and then he said, a pretty penny that cost me. There's a lovely term. That costs a pretty penny. A lot of money. So think of the last time you spent a pretty penny. Boom Boom also mentioned one of my bugbears is when people say hello to me. So what is one of your bugbears? We also had the term wrap up warm when you go outside. Put on lots of clothes. So do you wrap up warm when you go outside? We had the term stocking up on vitamin D tablets. So when you stock up on something, you buy lots of it. So what are you stocking up on at the moment? We had the term run it off when I was talking about the poo and just to get rid of it. People often say run it off, but as Boom Boom said, that's normally for like a bang on the knee, in the leg. It's difficult with a poo. So think of a time you injured yourself, maybe playing sport, and you ran it off. I said that I was stranded. So when you're stranded, you've got no one there to help you. You are alone. The classic term is stranded on a desert island. Have you ever been stranded? Maybe you were there without your phone, without your keys, and you were stranded. We had the term get away with it. Well, that's one of the most common phrasal verbs we have on this show. When you do something and then you don't get punished for it. So think of the last time you got away with something. We spoke about hitchhiking, which is when you put your thumb out to say, can you give me a lift? Which is what I considered doing so I could get home after the poo. Have you ever hitchhiked? Would you like to go hitchhiking? I'm not sure. Boom Boom also used a lovely term, I think when we were talking about running it off. And he said, yeah, maybe someone's trod on your foot. So there's a lovely term there, trod, which is the past of tread. So if you tread on someone's foot, you stand on their foot. So when was the last time someone trod on your foot? We had the term, I'll sit this one out. So if you sit it out, you just say, no, okay, you play, you get on with it, which is exactly the next term we had when I said, I'll let you get on with it. So I'll let you do it. We often use this for work. I need to get on with some work. We had the term nappy as well, which is the underwear of babies, let's say. So have you ever changed a nappy? If you have, please let me know how to do it, because I don't know. Boom Boom said that he would suggest giving it a go to me about watching The World's Strongest Man. There's a lovely term. Give it a go. Try it. Are you going to give it a go and watch The World's Strongest Man? If you do, let me know, because I've got zero intention of doing that. Then we spoke about cartwheels. I'm actually going to put a video on social media on my Instagram story of me doing a cartwheel, okay, to demonstrate this. This is the only way. And then if you want, you can send me a video of you doing a cartwheel. That would be great. Although don't injure yourself. It's very possible I will injure myself, but never mind. Anyway, remember you can find all of the vocabulary on the website. And to make it easier, I'm going to change the address, the website address, just to rockandrollenglish.com/216. Then you can find it, because there are still problems on the website. So sorry about that. Anyway, hopefully that will be resolved soon. I will see you all again in 2 weeks for Blue Monday, January the 18th. So stay happy, stay safe. I will see you all soon. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.